Hey, this is Alex Mondoshin, and I've just participated in the Don't Wait to Be Great Radio Summit.com with the great Raven Blair Davis. You got to listen to her to understand how great she is. Don't wait, just be great.
This is Lynn Rose, where voice meets vision, LynnRose.com, and you're listening to Raven, the talk show maven, on the amazing Women of Power. Don't wait to be great.
Hi, this is Ernie Hudson, actor, writer, speaker, and you're listening to Raven, the talk show maven. I've had a wonderful time talking and exploring and just discovering with Raven on the amazing Women of Power radio station. Tune in, enjoy it. It'll be a wonderful experience and a life-changing experience for you.
Don't wait to be great. Do it now. Don't you hesitate.
Hi, this is Kristen Sharma.
And Janie Leidy of Love and Light Sisters.
You are listening to Raven, the talk show maven, on Amazing Women of Power.
Don't wait to be great. Do it now. Don't you hesitate. Get more life out of living, more living out of life. Don't wait to be great. Don't wait to be great. Don't wait to be great.
Hello and welcome to Don't Wait to Be Great, Do It Now, Global Radio Mega Summit. Hi, I'm Raven, a talk show maven, known by many as the Queen of Internet Radio Conversion, and I am so excited because you have just experienced an entire 7 days, well, this is the 7th day, of us featuring all these master speakers. I mean, there's been over 50, I think 54. I lost count after a while. So many people said yes. I didn't know how to tell them no. So we just decided to bring everyone that agreed to be part of it. I mean, you've heard from Dr. J.B. Hill, Napoleon Hill's grandson. You heard from, oh my goodness, Diana Nightingale, the late, great Earl Nightingale's widow. You've heard from Claudette Robinson, First Lady of Motown. Oh, Adam Yabansky, Lisa Sasevich, Lisa Kidder, Lisa Cherney, all the Lisas, except for Lisa Nichols. She couldn't make it. And let's see, oh my goodness, we just had so many people. Derek Anderson, NBA ball player, and it's just been so many people. I mean, I don't even want to waste your time going down the list, but I tell you what, if you have not gotten it yet, you do want to go ahead and get it. You don't walk, just run over there right now to Don't Wait to Be Great Summit.com/upgrade. Again, that's Don't Wait to Be Great Summit.com/upgrade, and get it so you can take it home with you. So why are we here right now? Well, I could not wrap this up without bringing in some of my amazing women and amazing Men of Power radio hosts, because this is airing on the Amazing Women and Men of Power radio network, powered by Raven International. And, they have a lot to do with my greatness. I was at CNN and CBS, and I'm like, hey, I think I'm going to go ahead and launch my own show. Many of you heard me throughout speaking and when I'm interviewing people, sharing bits and pieces of my story. And one part that you heard was, when CNN, I was paying $500 a week to be on CNN and CBS to carry that logo. You know that logo, yeah. Well, I wanted to carry that logo. I wanted to be part of that, and so I invested the $500 a week gladly. And then one day, an email comes, and they said, hey, we decided that all independent hosts like you can no longer use a CNN and CBS label. And I tell you, I was frozen in fear. I didn't know what to do. I sold out slots for everybody to be on CNN and CBS. They didn't want me to give people the replay, and so it kind of messed up my whole strategy plan. You know what I'm saying? Has that ever happened to you? I'm sure it did. But just like we were saying earlier about the Don't Wait to Be Great, Do It Now, you can't let obstacles, adversities, and challenges get in your way. Oh, no. But keeping it real, because I'm a keep it real type of gal, I did. For a moment, I was frozen in fear. For a whole entire week, I sat there devastated. What the heck am I going to do? I looked at that calendar and all the people that I had sold slots to, all the money I had spent, so I couldn't give it back to them. And I did have no idea what I was going to do. I was talking to my fiancé colleague, and he said, you know what, I don't know what you're going to do, but I know what you're not going to do. You're not going to sit there for another week and, cry and boo-hoo and feel sorry for yourself. You better get an action plan together. So, I listened to the voice inside me, after listening to him, and I was inspired. The inspired thought was, hey, you were at CNN and CBS for a quick minute for, a couple of years to see what an operation is ran like on a station. That was no accident, Raven. Hello, do I have to hit you on your head? Boom, boom. Go start your own station. So I love Google. I started Googling how to start a station. What do I need to do? And before you know it, I kid you not, within 6 weeks later, we launched the Amazing Women of Power Radio Network. So I hope that inspires you. Dreams come true even when it seems like everything is falling on you. So that's why I wanted to bring some of these people. Some of them were here from the start. Bonnie, you're going to hear from Bonnie Terry. You're going to hear from Fred Simkoski. You're going to hear from JJ. Let's see, who else? Lynn Heidi. Oh, my God. Yeah, definitely Lynn Heidi. And let me see. Let's see. We got a new one, Adrian Murray. He's here. And he was the newest one, I believe. But everyone else, they were at the beginning. And I have Adrian here because he's just done such an exceptional job. I could not have him here. And so I want to introduce you to all of these wonderful, amazing women and men of power who are going to be part of our success panel here, our greatness success panel. How about that? So let's start with JJ. JJ Fredrickson is a sought-after life purpose coach and consultant helping people answer their calling by breaking free from stress and fear. And let's move on to Doc Fred. His name is Fred Simkoski. We call him Doc Fred. And I am proud to say he is one of the first recipients and definitely the first male recipient of the Emmy Award winning host of the year 2013 for Visions of Success Talk Radio, the 3 of 5-star hit of, he has had 5 stars. He's had 5 stars once, Fred. I don't know if I've told you. 3 of 5 stars hit on Amazing Women and Amazing Men of Power Network that we featured, the Amazing Men on Friday. And Adrian Murray. Adrian Murray is new, and he's a.k.a. known as a feel-good coach. Adrian's a life coach that focuses on helping people to achieve their greatness by paying attention to their emotional audience. And Adrian's radio show is Feel Good Radio, and it's fun, informative, inspirational, and will have you thinking and feeling your way greatness, for sure. Lynn Heidi is the founder of Up Your Telesales and host of Sales Coaching Over Coffee. She co-hosted The Business View with me, with Christina Suter and Sherry Prendo. And she's a specialist at creating profitable telesales people and organizations. She knows you can make 6 figures over the phone because she has done it. Ah, wow. JJ, Fred, Adrian, Lynn, and now we go to Bonnie Terry. Now, Bonnie Terry, I love Bonnie. She's always enthusiastic, and she's the dyslexia and ADHD expert from Learning Made Easy Talk Radio. She has awakened the Scholar Within coaching programs for parents where she holds your hand, helps you every step of the way on how to help your kids improve their skills. And she also has books, games, guides to make learning easy breezy. Yeah. So help me welcome my greatness success panelists, JJ Fredrickson, Doc Fred Simkoski, Adrian Murray, Lynn Heidi, and Bonnie Terry. Welcome. I'm so glad you guys were able to, pencil me in your busy schedule.
Thanks for inviting us.
Oh, yeah, we love being here.
Well, it's our pleasure. I couldn't imagine not being with you.
Well, thank you so much. Now, you guys know our topic this week has been Don't Wait to Be Great, Do It Now. And we've heard from some master teachers. You've heard me say the names, and hopefully you've been able to catch a few of it this week. But we've also had just some everyday people with extraordinary stories, extraordinary businesses just like us, and they've come on and they were our guest experts, and they shared their stories and why they feel everybody should just, stop trying to dot the I's, is what we've been saying all week, cross the T's, get everything right, get in perfection mode, but just get the doggone thing done. You know what I mean? So I want to talk to you guys about the same thing, and so let's start with that. Why do you feel it's important? We'll start with you, Lynn. Why do you feel it's important for people to just, get out of their heads, get in their heart, and get the doggone thing done?
Well, I have to say that the number one thing I think ends up happening is we don't actually define greatness for ourselves. So we look outside ourselves and at what other people define as success, and we don't really own it. We don't really believe it. And I think that the way to really get out there and get it done and have the motivation and the belief and the passion is to take a second and actually ask yourself, what is your idea of success? What does greatness look like to you? And I run into so many people that don't know the answer because they don't set it for themselves. They listen to what other people are telling them they should be doing. So that's the first thing. I think that define it for yourself, and then no one can stop you.
You become unstoppable, right?
It's your passion.
Yes, absolutely. JJ, what's your thoughts on that?
Oh my gosh, I totally second what she said. I still believe that in the past we've been taught to reach for those external goals, to try to meet other people's expectations. What is success? And I know I've worked with so many business owners who are trying to create businesses around what they think they should be doing. How many tweets should I be sending a week? And how many Facebook posts? And really, she's spot on. It is all about going internal and really uncovering what you're willing to do and what your spirit is telling you to do. And if you can create a life, create a business, create a career, create relationships around that internal motivation, it makes all the difference in the world. Because I really do believe that stress, that fear comes up when we aren't following that internal guidance. It's amazing.
Yeah, and the fear, there's no way around it. I mean, every single speaker has tapped on that. And that's one of my questions, but I hardly ever get to bring it up because people start talking about fear right off. People are so stuck in fear. Why do you feel so many people are stuck in fear and they let fear win, Fred?
Well, I think it's two things, okay? One, it's about everybody hates the word no. Why? Because when we all grew up, every time we asked our parents for something, what'd they say? No. And we took it very personal, okay? And I think that's what we still do. We take no personal, and we handle it as personal rejection. So as soon as you understand, you only have to understand one thing. No is the beginning of the conversation, not the end of the conversation. And as we go along, I'll explain that more. The second thing is, it's but, okay? We sit on our butts, but unfortunately, we spend too much time with our butts, okay? But I can't do this, but I can't do that, but I shouldn't do that, but how will I ever... You know what? You got to get rid of the butts, only use it when you're sitting, and understand that, you know what? You can do anything you want in life if you just go out and do it. It's all about, forget about the fact that you might fall on your face. It's like riding a bicycle. Yeah, you're going to fall on your face God knows how many times. But you know what? All the pain goes away, and when you just do it and don't worry about the outcome, it always works out.
Bonnie, you know what? All between fear, I think what Fred said is so funny, but it's so true. The sit on your butt, but we always come up with the but. I just said, but we. That's kind of funny right there. But there I go. Boom! Now you got me saying but all the time, Fred. Thank you. Bonnie, how do you feel about rejection, because that's another big thing that keeps coming up. And a lot of people are fearful, when we go back to the word fear, of, wow, if I do that, if I go for that, what if I'm rejected? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, the thing of it is, I think we all experience rejection at one point or another, and when we think we finally have a handle on it, it hits us again, and it's like, okay, wait a minute. We have to remember that it's not about us when we're rejected. It's about them, whoever it is, they're just not ready to receive what you have to say. So when we realize it's not about us, and if we're in sync with what we're doing, hallelujah, we can do it. We don't have to be, it's just don't take it personally. I did that today, it's like, oh man, I'm getting, annoyed with, and it's like, wait a minute. It's not about me. I know what I do, and I know that I provide a great service. It's that whoever you are with is not at a point where they are ready to receive what you have. And so you have to remember it's not about you when you're rejected. Yep. And because you are here and you are gifted and you have so much to give, if you just, for me, it kind of ties back into that fear also. If you don't go for it, if you don't try, all they can do is say no, and you're no better off than you were when you started. But what if they said yes? Ooh, how would things be different 6 months from now? What if? So the same thing, whether it's the fear or when you're being rejected. Well, what if I look at it a little differently? What if I know that person was not the perfect client for me at this point in time? Or what if that job, that whatever, I wasn't really supposed to be doing right now? We think of all kinds of things on our own that, we should be doing, and this is our way, and we plan it out and plot it out, and this is what we should do, and then we're sidelined and go, yeah, that wasn't really what I was supposed to do. And as you were saying earlier, you need to listen to your intuition, listen to Source. What are you supposed to really be doing? And so if you are, experience a rejection, that was probably for a reason. Number one, they weren't ready for you, or maybe you weren't ready for it, and you didn't even realize it, because it's like, man, I've got to succeed. I've got to keep going. Right.
Well, and there's no way around a rejection, so just know that. I mean, if you're going to go for something, you got to take that risk, and it's not, if you're going to be rejected. It's, when you're going to be rejected.
Exactly.
Somewhere
it's going to happen.
It's definitely going to happen. I want to pull Adrian in here. Adrian, feel good, Coach. What you got to say?
Well, I agree. Just that word rejection, it triggers all kinds of stuff inside of us. So, what I do is I try to rephrase it. I talk to myself like I'm a trusted friend. Mm-hmm. And I say that, what's being rejected is not me. I mean, look at me. I'm a divine reflection of God. So what they must be saying no to, I don't even use the word rejection. I say what they must be saying no to is the message, the product, the idea.
Yep.
And they have a right. They have a right to do that. That helps to calm me.
I like that. I love that. Okay, that's the first time I've heard anybody kind of say it like that. And I can appreciate where you're coming from, because they do have the right. And I hope the listeners keep that in mind, whether you're, building your dream and going for your greatness, and it's business-related, job-related, life-related, it does not matter, or I should say lifestyle-related. You're going to hit some bumps. There's going to be adversities, challenges, setbacks. There's going to be fears that creep up, and there's going to be, you betcha, as Sarah Palin said, or used to say, that you're going to have that rejection. But like I feel what Adrian brought up is a good point. You know, they have the right to say no. And what Bonnie said is a great point. You know, you can't take it personal. I think that's what it is. I think we really, really take it personal. I know I have. You know, I'm first to raise my hand. I definitely have. So, but we just want to make sure that, you know, and I think as humans, we probably do kind of take it personal. I mean, you know, we are humans, and, you know, our feelings get hurt real easy and stuff. But then you have to kind of relax, go for a walk somewhere, and really, really get in tune to, was it really personal? I mean, you know, did they really do this to you, or were you not clear enough with what you wanted, or was it just not for them? And I think in business, if we're talking business, clarity, you know, making sure we are reaching the right audience for the right message that we have to offer, and then they're more open to receive it if that's the case. If it's life, you know, experience, and you're wanting, you know, someone to help you build your dream or go on a vacation or whatever it is that you have fear for, and you've gotten rejected for, maybe it was a date, maybe anything, you know, and that, when you go to that does feel a little personal, to be honest. Keeping it real. But you still have
Raven, this is Liz. Raven, I'm just going to say that this whole part of the discussion reminds me of one of the lines from Charles Swindoll's Attitude poem, which is, I'm convinced that 10% of life is what happens to me, and 90% is how I react to it.
Ooh, that's good. Okay, that's really good. That's a good point. You know, because we can decide how we're going to act to it. And even if we don't act the right way the first time, we can flip it, right, guys?
Yeah, but I think it's more than that. You know, when we get a no, okay, and let me give you a real quick example, okay? I was with an international company, SAP and SAP Labs. I was the manager of training and development. They asked me to go to Germany to do management training. So during one of the days during the management training, okay, I threw out an idea, and one of the German people said, no, we can't do that. I said, okay. And on the break, somebody else came up to me and said, Fred, you don't understand no in Germany. I said, what do you mean I don't understand no in Germany? No is no. He says, no. When they say no, that's the beginning of the conversation, not the end. Listen to this carefully. It's the beginning of the conversation. When they say no, you've got to ask open-ended questions, okay, to find out why they no. You know, instead of being rejected for the no, I learned then that now the question is, well, gee, why aren't you interested? Why does that not work for you? Why is this not a good time for you? What is a good time? Okay, in other words, he taught me that no has nothing to do with the end. It's got everything to do with the beginning of the conversation.
Yes, I'm so glad you said that. And me and Lynn, us salespeople, we know exactly that's true, right, Lynn?
Absolutely.
Yeah, because that means no, I need more clarity, or no, you know, it's not the right time, and it's our job to say, okay, so if today's not the right time, you know, what day is best for you that we could talk about this? Or, you know, and a lot of times people are going through, especially for those people like myself and Lynn that are making, let's borrow Barkley's words. I started to say cold call, Fred, and then I caught myself because, you know, Barkley taught us that the red carpet interview secrets, it's gold calls, and I've been using it since. And I always talk about picking up the receiver instead of the phone. And like Bonnie was saying, you know, it's about the offer you have. So, I think everything that we've hit on is so true. Now, here's what I want to do at this point. I want to really, really dive deep with you guys and really dig in, because we have some people out here that are not business related. They're at a job, but, you know, it's just a job. Yeah, they're there for money. You know, but they're hurting where they're hurting is maybe they're empty nesters, or maybe they recently lost a loved one, or someone walked out of them on them in a marriage, which feels like a loss. I mean, they really got some pain there. And right now, where I'm at is good enough, is what they're saying. Don't bother me, where I'm at is good enough. I'm coming to listen to what you guys saying, but I don't know. I don't know if I have the strength to do it, the endurance to do it, because that's going to mean I have to go do a lot of changing and stuff. So let's talk straight from our hearts to those people's hearts, since we're wrapping this up, because I want people to really be inspired to go and really make their dreams happen. So we'll each of you, we'll take you one at a time. I'm going to call your names. Maybe share a personal story, make it not too long, please, to inspire them how you got out of that, settling mode, or, I'm not good enough mode, or it's good where I'm at mode, to going for your greatness. So in other words, I want to hear a little bit of your story and then move into what changed you, what changed that direction, and where you decide, you know what, the heck with it, I'm just going to go for it. So let's start with Adrian, and we want to give everybody about 3 minutes each, so don't make it long, okay? Okay, go ahead, Adrian.
Okay, well, I have to think back to a time when I got fired from a job, Raven.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this was a good-paying job, let me tell you. It was good money, and that thing just kind of pushed the monster button. We all have those buttons. This was my monster button because it was the first time it had ever happened to me. And, it's hard for a man to lose a job. But it was the first time that I felt just powerless, And what I really had to do, I said, well, if I want to live, I've got to get out of this state of powerlessness, And it meant that I had to stop believing that I couldn't feel better until I got a job. And I didn't just have to have a job. I believed I had to have a job like that one making the same kind of money. I had to stop believing that. I had to give up that idea. And then I had to work on feeling good in my present circumstance, just like I was. I had the power to feel good in my circumstance. And when I did that, as soon as I started to do that, then I started to get glimpses of my greatness. And that's when the opportunities for the jobs came.
I've been there. Boy, when you said that, I remember getting fired from a job. Boy, that hurts. That really messes yourself up with your self-esteem. But you're right. Men take it even deeper, than women. And so I could just feel your pain when you were speaking about that. So my question to you is, how did you find the strength to dig yourself out of there and to keep going on? What was your why?
Well, I think that greatness is just our natural way of being. I think we just came here to be great, and what stops us is our resistance. And my mind just would come up with all kinds of reasons why you can't be great. It's too hard. Nobody in my family has ever done it, and you just have to stop listening to that garbage because that's what it is. It's just garbage. And you have to tell yourself a new story, and that's what I did. I told myself a new story, and I believed that new story, and then I wasn't resisting my natural flow of greatness and abundance. It just started to come with me. Things just started to happen, just like magic.
I'm so proud of you for just, going for it. And did you find out did you see that during that time you had to make some personal changes, self-development-wise? And if so, what were they?
Well, yeah, of course I did. What I did was I took time for myself. I just took the time to meditate, to go inside. To find out what I needed to do in order to make myself feel better. I had to visualize what I wanted. What I really wanted was to be able to speak to people and to share whatever I wanted to share from a place of passion, from a place of greatness, to give all that I wanted to give. Because I experienced that when I was very young, when I was 13, and I spoke in front of an audience. And ever since that time, I wanted to do it again. And it just meant that I had to hold that vision in my head, and feel what it would feel like to be there. And that gave me the power and the strength to attain it.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, wow. I think just the words that you said it and the words you said, Adrian, and the way you said it, everybody tuning in can really feel your emotion in this and your passion in there. And, no wonder you rock it. So thank you for sharing. I want to go to JJ now. And JJ, you're the stressless queen.
Yes.
I know you had some stress in your day. So dig back, to whenever there was something painful for you, something that had you all stressed out and worried and fearful and all the things that we talked about, and it slowed you down from moving forward to going from good to great, so that now you're on this greatness roll. I mean, you're making it rock, and I applaud you as well as I applaud the other people on our panel. So what could you share that would inspire the listeners to move on from your story?
Well, mine came, I knew I was creating a lot of mental stress. It's been about 10 years since I realized all the mental stress I was putting on myself. But what happened was then I eventually took care of the mental stress, and I had a physical breakdown. I literally had adrenal fatigue caused by a gluten sensitivity in a real few years. It was a whole decade of the breakdown, but a couple of years where it was physical stress that was causing me to really, really not be able to even get out of bed sometimes. I would have to take 2 naps a day. And it was this great gift in hindsight. Now, when I was in it, it wasn't fun. In hindsight, it was this beautiful gift because what I learned is really about the importance of baby steps. Number one, baby steps, just those little stretches. You keep putting one foot in front of the other, and pretty soon you've gone a mile. And, of course, I'm using that in a figurative sense, but literally, if you're moving toward your greatness and you're in that place of pain, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, baby steps, one step at a time. And the other thing I learned in that period, I had let my mind run the show for so long. And it caused all that stress that we've been talking about. I'm worried about rejection and what am I going to do about this? And I just got fired. So I let my mind run the show for so long. And then when my body broke down too, I realized the spirit is the one that's running the show. The mind and the body are only a tool for my spirit. And it is important for me to keep them taken care of, to take care of them, and to sort of defer to that spirit. So, and take care of my body and my mind while I'm doing it. Self-care is number one. Like I said before, it really is about being internally driven, letting your soul run the show. And when you do that, and you do it within whatever confines your physical or mental has for you, then you're able to really have that success that Adrian was just talking about. It's amazing how things start to click, and it all starts with those little baby steps and listening to your body, listening to your spirit.
Yeah, listening, boy, is so important. That's something people miss, but, listening to that voice inside you, guide you, listening to customers and clients when you're talking to them, listening plays a huge, huge part, So, you obviously went through a lot there, and you're right, health is number one. And guys get it. Health, was it wealth without health? You want the health. You want them both, but by far you want the health. So, yeah, you do have to take care of your bodies. And, you don't want to reach, I always say, get to the end of the rainbow where everything joyous is happening to you, and then you got a health issue. I mean, not to say, some things are hereditary and stuff like that, but do your best in taking care of your bodies. I'm trying to work on getting up and move around a little bit more. One of our hosts, Dr. Consuelo Mukes, has a product that's called Sit Too Little and Sit Too Much and Move Too Little. And it's really got me thinking, because I want to be around. I got a lot to do. And so I'm so glad you brought up the health issue, because that is something I want to instill in the people that are tuning in as we wrap this Don't Wait to Be Great dynamic week. So thank you.
To be great, to be great and live your purpose and answer your calling, you've got to have your body on board.
Yes, you do. You got to have your body on board. Okay, so I want to ask you a couple more questions, and then we're going to move on. I think we'll move on to Lynn Heidi. So here's the thing, JJ. You went through all that, and then you decided to start your road to greatness. What was that one thing? I'm getting a little back. What was that one thing that really, really let you know, hey, it's my time to shine, I'm going for it? And, how did you get past the adversities and challenges along the journey?
Oh, I think it's a twofold thing. Number one is I really think of my work as an experiment. It helps me keep that mindset of not worrying about the rejection and moving forward. It's an experiment. Let's see what hits. Let's see what happens. And it keeps me excited about it and out of that fear and stress. And then number two was really support. My mentors and my team and my mastermind groups and my family, their support every step of the way is huge. Because sometimes in those dark days, you can kind of forget, at least I can kind of forget who I am. I can forget about my purpose, my divine potential, that I am this divine being. And so sometimes I need my team to just help me remember who I am.
That's sweet. That's sweet. Okay, let's go to Lynn Heidi. Thank you for sharing. Okay. Lynn.
So my story is going to sound a little bit strange because I'm the one who went to work every day and I did all the right things and was the golden girl in corporate America, right? I got promoted, and I got promoted again, and I was doing everything that everyone told me I should do, and that I was going to get my dream job if I did all these things. And then the worst thing in the world happened. I got the job that everybody else wanted, and I hated it. It was awful. And I had spent 3 years doing all the right things to get this job that people told me was going to be my dream job, and it crushed my spirit every day. And that's really hard. I mean, it was for me at least, like this idea that this thing that I had worked so hard to reach and achieve just left me feeling badly about myself.
So how did you get past all that?
I have to say that I really wish I had known JJ then, because that whole idea of my work as an experiment would have helped a lot. So I'm keeping that, JJ. I will credit you every time I use it. But I think the two things that really helped me get past it were, number one, it was so bad I wasn't going to do it anymore, right? And so I quit.
Been there before.
Right? It is so much easier to reach for what you need to be reaching for inside yourself when you give yourself permission, right? And I think sometimes good is the enemy of greatness.
No,
and and so if you are feeling that personal defeat, whether it's in other people see you as successful but you don't feel it, remember that that's where that whole passion of mine for making sure you personally know where you're going and you look inside yourself to define your own greatness and your own success markers. And having now experienced the failure, to learn that lesson, hopefully other people can learn it from me instead. But the important thing is to know that if you do all the work but you end up somewhere and it's not what you thought it was going to be, or it's not what you want, you can change your own direction. It's 100% in your power. Say, okay, this is where I am now. I don't like it here. Kind of like going on vacation. And you look around and you go, I don't ever need to come back here.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, guys. My phone is just ringing off the hook here. Go ahead. Well,
so I think that's...
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Lynn. Did you want to wrap up? Okay.
I was just going to say, so always know that it is your decision for where you end up, and you can always either do everything you can to stay if you love it, or change your direction and walk away.
Great. Well, the direction thing is huge because my next question to you is, what did you do? I mean, what were two of the steps that you did right away?
One of the things that I did is I actually looked at what did I hate and was there anything that I loved, and really dissected the pieces and parts of what was going on for me, and that was step one. And then step two was, okay, how can I get more of what I love and eliminate the stuff that I hate?
Oh, I like that. How can I get more of what I love and eliminate the stuff I hate? So the process of elimination began, and you started getting rid of the things that you didn't like, to get rid of the things that was in your way from moving forward. That's good, Lynn. That's good. Awesome. Wow. You guys, I don't know. You know, I had some great people, some master teachers on, but I'm telling you, this is good. This is a great wrap-up because you guys are going deep. Let me move on to, let's see, Bonnie, and then we'll go to Fred. So, Bonnie, okay, and tell me, what was the most painful thing that you had to get through and how you got through it? What was it gave you the courage to get through it? And we got about 3 minutes on this. Go ahead.
The most painful thing that happened to me happened a number of years ago. I was, very happily married. My husband and I chatted in the morning. We chatted a couple times throughout the day. And in the evening, I was finishing up work, and I got a phone call that said he was in the ER. He had fallen on a collapsible goat fence, and he had injured himself. So I went to the ER. He slipped into a coma very quickly after I got there. He only said like 2 lucid words to me. And he ended up being life-flighted and had neurosurgery, never came out of the coma, and he died 5 days later. I had met him when I was 17. Now I'm, late 40s, and it's like, this was my life. My life was over.
Wow.
It's like, and I have 3 kids, and my income, I had my own business, but my income was the vacation income. It was, the extras. It was not the support, the family income. It was just absolutely, totally devastating. I didn't know how to live. And people would say, well, what do you want to do? And it's like, I couldn't even answer that question. What do you mean, what do I want to do? I was always, what does my husband want to do, or what do the kids want to do, or what do they all need to do? It was never, what do I want to do? So I was absolutely, totally devastated. And one of the things that was one of the most difficult things then, because of this severe depression, was to just even step out the front door. I mean, I couldn't cook. I couldn't grocery shop. I would be at the grocery store holding on to that basket for dear life because I could barely even walk in the grocery store. My husband had always done the grocery shopping, and now I have to do this. It was absolutely, totally devastating. And so I prayed, and I'm like, okay, God, give me all the help you can and then some. Please help me here. And I knew that I had to do something and to listen, because my mother-in-law, very interestingly enough, had been widowed at the same age that I was widowed. And so I saw her for years and years, for close to 30 years, as a widow, and how she struggled, and she also didn't really create a big life for herself. And it's like, I was bound and determined, I am not going to be like that. I am not going to be, where I have no funds, and I'm not going to be where I don't have a life for me. And so, even in the most severe pain, I knew I had to do something. I didn't know what it was, but I had to do something. So, it was, and this kind of thing happens, whether it's a divorce or a death, you got to pull it together somehow. I was going to say, and sometimes, it wasn't about, well, I'm a mom, I've got to hold it together for my kids. No. But you have to pull it together somehow.
Wow. Let me ask you this. During that time or following that, when did you decide that you were going to, just create your dream and move forward and, deal with whatever you had to deal with the best you could, but, I'm going to make this happen? And what was the driving force for that? Probably what you just told us, maybe.
Well, it was interesting. Yeah, that was my driving force, but there was another gal who had been widowed 2 years prior to me being widowed, that her husband worked at the same place that my husband worked in the same type of job. And she called, within minutes of me arriving home from the hospital. And then she called me like 2 months later, and it was like talking to a new person. I'm like, what happened? How did you get out of your depths of despair and 2 months later you're like a new person? And so she told me about a program called Beginning Experience that would, made the change for her. And it is all around the country. And it's for widows and widowers and divorced and separated. And so okay, where do I find this? Because I knew I could not do it alone. Mm-hmm. I could not do this by myself. And I didn't even feel like I was making any change at all. And my kids and my staff every Wednesday night, they would make comments like, "You're going tonight, aren't you?" So I'm starting to think, I guess it's working. I'm not feeling different, but I guess I must be getting through this somewhat. And so, through that process, it's like, okay, I really can do this. I can create a life, and I can answer that question, gosh darn it, what do I want to do? Mm-hmm. And I can actually make a difference. Mm-hmm. And maybe, obviously, there was a reason for this happening, and maybe I am supposed to learn how to be stronger and how to help more people that I would not have done had my husband lived. Mm-hmm. Because I wouldn't have been pushed to, I've got to get it out there. Does that make sense to you?
Oh, absolutely. I love that you brought up the fact that, you asked for help. And, we try to instill throughout this whole 7-day summit how important it is for people to recognize, for all of us to recognize, that we do not have to do it alone.
Exactly.
And I think everybody is scared to ask or don't want to ask. You have so much pride. But, here's a prime example of how important it is to ask for help. And your family and friends, they held you accountable.
Exactly.
You got what you needed. And that's what's so important. Yeah. Really awesome.
Yeah, and that's the whole crux of it. You're not the only human being on the earth. We have a lot of us here. Do you think that's for a reason? Are we supposed to actually be helping each other out and loving each other and helping each other through the struggles? Doesn't that help us to become our best selves?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Wow. So we have so many of us that, part of what we do is we coach, and that's how we're helping each other.
Let me bring Fred in this. Fred.
Yes.
We haven't heard from you. Right. Mm-hmm. So go ahead.
Yeah, let me tell you my quickie, okay? Not so quick, but it won't be that long. a little more than 2 years ago, I was running a wonderful consulting business out of my home, and I was traveling all over the country, and I was really into it, and I was doing it all. I was making sure the 15 grandchildren were taken care of, my wife, my 4 kids. It was all about everybody else, okay? And I was just driving, until 2 years ago, on Father's Day, okay, I collapsed. I went unconscious, okay? And I wound up in an ambulance having a convulsion. They've had to put a breathing tube in me. I was in the ICU for 3 weeks, and they had to put me in an induced coma because I was fighting it all the way, and they didn't know what was wrong with me until finally they decided that this was somehow I contracted pneumonia somewhere within that 3-week period. And in fact, one day, the fact of the matter was my vital signs dropped so low that they would just about lost me, and I died, and they brought me back. Now, the next 3 weeks, okay, I finally got out of the hospital. I finally went home, but I couldn't walk without a walker. I couldn't type. I couldn't talk straight. I would slur my speaking. I would forget what I'm saying in the middle of saying it. I mean, it was terrible. I couldn't even cut my own food up to eat, all right? And here I was, somebody so independent who ran everything. Whether it was the home, I took care of the bills, you name it, Doc Fred did it. Well, here I was. I couldn't even, excuse my French, I couldn't even go to the bathroom without help. Okay? Mm-hmm. And now I had to decide, as I started to get better, as I started to get stronger, I said to myself, what am I going to do? And one night, I was across an ottoman, okay, because I was having hallucinations from all the drugs they put in me, okay, for so long, in my pastor's living room, because he took us in to take care of me, okay. I was laying over that ottoman, and I said, God, I don't know why I'm here. I don't know how I got here, and I've never had to do anything like this in my life. Please help me through this and show me what I had to do. 2 days later, and this is not a miracle, this is just what happened, okay? 2 days later, the hallucinations went away. I started to get a bit stronger, and I started to have to think about what I was going to do next. I knew I could not go back to consulting because I could not be on the road. I could not do the things that I normally did. So I had to decide, what am I going to do? So one day I was sitting down with my wife, and she said something so important to me was, Freddie, how can you make a difference in this world so you know you matter? Because this is the most important thing in your life. I know it is. I mean, by then we were married 45 years, so she knew me back and forth. And I had to really think about that. And I had started Visions of Success with Raven, okay, about 6 months before that, and I said to her, I said, you know what, I'm going to go into semi-retirement. I'll just coach people locally so I don't have to travel, and I'm going to do the radio show. Now, at that point, I had only done a bunch of shows. Raven, for the 3 months that I was out, she kept playing the same shows over and over again until I could get better. And then one day in the middle of September, I said to her, you know, Raven, I think I'm ready to come back. And she said, whatever you want, Fred, we'll do it. So at first I started having shows for about 15 minutes because I couldn't last that long. My endurance was gone. And slowly but surely, it all came back. But I'll tell you how it came back, and this is the most important part. You talked about getting help from people. I was so independent before I was sick and almost died, okay? I wouldn't let anybody do anything for me. Now I was a point in life that I couldn't even cut the grass, okay, in the front of the house without getting one of my sons to do it, without getting somebody to help, without screwing a screw into the wall. I needed help. I mean, it was the first time in my life I had to ask for help. It was the hardest thing I had to learn was to say, you know, Fred, you can't do it, get help. And when I finally realized that, Raven comes along in my life and says, where you going now, Fred? She didn't say exactly like that, but basically with her coaching, she brought me back, and I tell you, that's when the show took off because I threw myself into the show. I threw everything that was positive that happened to me after that, okay, and somehow I turned it around because I realized at that moment I had so much more to give to other people, and God showed me. I thanked it. I can't tell you, every night before I go to sleep, I say my prayers. Never did that before I got sick 2 years ago, but every night before I go to sleep, I say my prayers and thank Him for showing me how, okay, I could make a difference in this world. And through Visions of Success, I am helping people all over the world figure out how they can make a difference in the world. And you know what? It's the most satisfying, the most enjoyable, the most fantastic way, okay, that I am living now, that you know what? I still can't do half of what I used to do, but I'm having a great time not doing it.
Thanks for saying that. And you know what? And you are an award winner host now, so award-winning host.
Yes.
Also, Adrian is an award-winning host as well, and Lorena Douglas. So, you know, every time you share that, I've only heard you share it once on stage when we had our live event at Red Carpet Interview Secrets, and, you know, I cried then. I feel like I want to cry now. I'm so honored and blessed that, you know, I could be a part of your story and the Amazing Women and Men of Power Radio Network. And I just want to say that real quickly to you, from my heart to yours. Thank you, and thank your wife, Kathy, for keeping me plugged in during that time, you know.
Oh, listen, I have to thank you, okay, because I'm not sure I would be where I am today because I was so bad off that the first 3 months after I came out of the hospital that I just didn't have any direction at all. And if it wasn't for you and my wife and my kids and my grandchildren, okay, I would not be here today.
Well, you know what? We're glad you are. And one of the things that I got out of what you said, Fred, once you came out of that, again, you know, you didn't like asking for help, but you learned to ask for help. And I'm sure you still a fight with you, but you stepped into it more than stepped away from it. So you stepped into your power, and we want to encourage the listeners from these stories you hear. Every one of them stepped into their power. They chose what's the next great step for them, and they went for it. So my question is to you, since you've listened to this entire 7-day series with all these speakers, 7+. Some days we had even more than 7 on. I lost count of the number. And now this amazing, heartfelt success panel that we brought here for you, where they share their stories from their heart. And, you know, you've heard my stories dribbled all the way through there, so I'm not going to bore you with my stories again. But trust me, there's been some painful ones. And I think what all of us collectively can agree to is that, you know, you have to step into your power. You have to get beyond yourself and get in tune and in touch with what is your why. Your why gets you over your mess. And if you're not getting through your mess and if you're not moving forward, your why may not be big enough. For me, my why was not big enough before my radio journey. But seeing my mom in that hospital with tubes on her looking different and seeing her worried more for me and my sister, who at the age of 55 and 58 couldn't barely take care of ourselves, then she was worried about her making it. And that was my why. That was the thing that pushed me and kept pushing me through and got me to, dig deep, get beyond myself, ask for help, like everyone said, get past the fears and the struggles and adversities and challenges. Do you still have them? Absolutely you do. You'll always will have them. It's called life happenings. And sometimes life happenings can seem to be unfair. But we just all collectively want to tell you that you have every single thing you need inside you. And the rest that you don't have, figure out where to get it. Figure out who to get the mentoring from, the coaching from, whether it's an audio or a book, or I'm going to recommend invest in. I don't care if it's any one of these people here. I mean, I care, but, we didn't bring them here to sell you on buying something from them. But, yes, you do need to, plug into them. Go to their website. Check out these people's amazing radio shows, and they'll give you their links in a minute. And, just get this series. Yes, get this series. It's only $97. This is the last day. After that, it's $197. But you're going to have over 50 speakers that you can download and listen to whenever you want with such a great message. Don't wait. Do not wait to be great. You got to do it now. You got to do it now. I'm going to go around one time to all of you as we close. Let's start with Lynn. Give them one reason why they shouldn't wait to be great, Lynn. One strong, powerful reason coming from the heart. Go, girl.
So the one reason is believe in yourself and your passion, and those two things are going to make your life so much brighter and help you love every minute of every day.
But what I want you to tell them, because I want them to get this, why shouldn't they wait?
Because every day you wait is a day that you have wasted.
There you go. Every day you wait, there is a day every day you wait is a day you have wasted, correct? Okay, that's the way she said it, and that is so true. And then she gave you some golden tips. So since you did that, we'll go to Bonnie. Give them one reason why, just one reason, real quickly, why they shouldn't wait, and then give them one action step or one inspirational thought, real quickly.
Because if you wait, you're holding off becoming your best self. That's your sacred mission, to become your best self.
And one action step or one inspired thought you want to pass on to them.
List 10 things you like about yourself, and then list another 10 that you like about yourself, and then another 10 that you like about yourself. See how powerful you are with that, and then go and do 10 things for others, and the blessings will come.
Love it. Adrienne, one reason you want to pass on to them to encourage them to do not wait to be great, and then one inspired thought or one action step.
Well, I would say that no one should wait to be great because it feels so good. I mean, Raven, it's just a wonderful feeling to live life in your passion.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I have to say. It just feels great. And I would say that that what you want to do is to think and visualize what you want to be, do, or have in life, and put yourself there in that feeling. And when you do that, you're going to have these limiting thoughts that come up. Write them down. Make a list of all those thoughts that come up and then challenge them and ask yourself, is it really true? That's going to help you to move through those blocks and attain your greatness.
Awesome. JJ, one thing that you want to share with them as to why they should not wait to be great, and one action step or one inspired thought you want to pass on.
I'm going to sort of wrap those two things sort of into one, the inspiring thought. It comes from Martha Graham, and it's my favorite quote in the world. And this is why you can't wait to be great. There's a vitality, a life force, and energy a quickening that is translated through you into action. And because there is only one of you in all of time, this expression is unique. And if you block it, it will never exist through any other medium and be lost. The world will not have it. It is not your business to determine how good it is, nor how valuable, nor how it compares with other expressions. It is your business to keep it yours clearly and directly, to keep the channel open. So there is only one of you, and that is why you cannot wait to be great. There is only one of you, and if you don't do it, it will be lost to the world. Your gifts, your talents will be lost to the world, and you can just make one tiny baby step toward that. Whatever your inner urge is, whatever your spirit is telling you to do, just the one baby step at a time.
One baby step at a time.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Okay, Fred, why shouldn't they wait to be great? One thing, and what one action step or one inspired thought real quickly you want to pass on?
Don't wait to be great, because each and every one of you can make a difference in this world and matter, okay? Let me tell you something real quick, okay? In all the years I've been working, over 45 years, okay, I never met anybody who woke up in the morning and said, what can I screw up today? Nobody, no one's ever done that. I've never known anybody who's done that. Everybody, you, me, everybody listening out there today want to make a difference, want to know they matter, want to know, okay, that they can contribute. If you wait, you're cheating the world of everything, the talent, the skills, the knowledge, the experience. You're cheating the world out of your greatness. You will be great when you're giving it to others, okay? And how do you do it? You get rid of those butts. Remember what I said about the butts? The butt is only for sitting. There's no such thing as but, and there's no such thing as no. You remember that? You'll make it through.
Awesome. Wow, you guys are amazing. I want to thank you for being here and being part of Amazing Women of Power Radio Network, as well as being, on this Greatness Success panel. You have showed greatness along your journey. You've mentored many. You're up-and-coming stars in your niches, and I am just feel blessed and honored. And I want to thank each and every one of you, from my heart to yours, for, allowing me to be your mentor, allowing me, to say yes to my little station over here that's growing big. But you guys were there when it was just blooming. So I want to thank you for that, and thank you for being here. And I want to thank each and every single one of you that's tuned in to the Don't Wait to Be Great Global Radio Mega Summit all week long. Hey, we've gotten your emails, you guys. We just want to just see you blossom. So what will make me feel good is for you to write me. First of all, let me know that you are listening, but you are taking action and you're doing all the things that you've heard. You're applying what you learned. You're moving forward no matter what, and that you're not going to give up on your dreams. You're not going to settle, because you deserve to have it all. Let me say that again. You do deserve to have it all. Know that your dreams are not a dream for no reason. If you can dream it and conceive it and believe it, you can achieve it. Just like Napoleon Hill said, you guys, you have it in you. Trust that. You're supposed to go after your dream. That's why you dream it. If you wasn't supposed to, you would not have the dream. Go for it. Hey, don't settle for being good. Good is good, but great is great, and it feels so good. So I want to close off by giving each and every one of my panelists an opportunity to basically give you the name of their show and what time they can listen. And you can go to the host page at AmazingWomenOfPower.com and click on their name, and you can follow them over there from there to the website. websites are too hard to give out, so let's just go ahead and give the name of your show, the time it is. Let's start with Bonnie Terry, the name of your show, and the time they can catch it.
Learning Made Easy Talk Radio with Bonnie Terry, and it airs at 9:30 a.m. on Tuesdays. Amazing Women of Power Network.
Thank you. And JJ?
I have Stress Less Radio, and it airs on Mondays at 11 and 5 p.m. Central.
Right. And Lynn Heidi?
I am Sales Coaching Over Coffee at 1 o'clock Central Time every Thursday.
Okay. And Adrian?
My show is Feel Good Radio, and it airs on Friday at 11 a.m.
And finally, Doc Fred.
My show is Visions of Success Talk Radio on Friday at 10 a.m. Central and again at 4 p.m. Central. Make sure you listen in.
All right, everyone, this will be a bonus audio. You will be able to pick this up and listen to it again. The stories are so touching. Remember what each and every one of them said. They kept them moving on to their greatness. It kept them going through their adversities and challenges and setbacks. And remember that you can too. Just like President Barack Obama says, yes, you can. Yes, you can. So on the count of three, let's all say, don't wait to be great. 1, 2, 3. Don't wait
to be great. Do it now.
Don't wait to be great. Do it now. Don't you hesitate. Get more life out of living, more living out of life. Don't wait to be great. Don't wait to be great. Don't wait to be great.
Hi, this is Carrie Sharpshare, otherwise known as the Sharp Cookie. You know, if you're an expert that's looking to get your own name out there and share your talents and gifts with the world, I would absolutely encourage you to call Raven as soon as possible and explore the possibility of you having your own show on Amazing Women of Power Radio. It's a great way to get your name out there. You are the media, and people will start coming to you. You can reach her directly at 1-800-431-0842 on Amazing Women of Power Radio. And I have to tell you, I have so many people who were coming up to me saying, Carrie, you've got this great personality. You love connecting business people with other business people. You really should have a radio show. And I was looking for a vehicle to make that happen, and I looked at some other resources that I had, and I met Raven one day at an event, and we started talking, and her love of her network and her love of what she was doing was so phenomenal, and I know that I would not have been able to have the show without the mentoring from Raven and the wonderful community within Amazing Women of Power. And I just can't thank her and her community and her staff enough for what it's done. It's been a great boon to my business. One of the things that has been so amazing with Raven's coaching is really showing me how to nuts and bolts take it from the very beginning, how to structure the show, how to get guests, and how to turn it into a money-making venture for me, too. When I was first looking at doing a radio show, I thought it was just going to be a free service, me getting out there, and now I've been able to monetize it, and she's shown me ways that I can take it beyond the show itself and monetize it. And so thank you so much, Raven. It's fantastic.